These little desks are really handy. You can plug in your synths, you can mix things. They're all over the place. They've got a few mic ins, auxiliaries, subgroups, usually quite cheap. This one a good friend of mine gave me that it had a beer dropped in it, so you can see these faders are really stuck. A lot of the channels are dead. This one's really stuck. It's scratchy on the ones that do work, so yeah, really this is in bad shape, but yours might just be dusty, makes a crackle every now and then. So first, to get access to it, we're going to have to rip off all the knobs. We've got to take them off. They're plastic, they just press on these little metal pieces. And so just take them off, put them all in a box together, make sure you don't lose everything. Everything that can come off at the front of the desk, you've got to take it off. These knobs can be really tough because they're kind of stuck a bit with plastic. So you gently use a screwdriver to lever, try not to scratch the paint there. Take a photo beforehand because it's real easy to forget what's what. Here is the desk. We've got all of these off now. This is all looking pretty naked, and you're going to have to unscrew any little screws that hold the XLR inputs, and same with those little nuts and washers for the jacks there. Here's my little box of stuff. So I've got it up on its side here. Most of these desks are built the same way. You've got to take off everything from underneath. Don't open unless you've unplugged it and had it off for at least an hour. So this is all assuming you've got it unplugged. I've unscrewed the bottom here. We can see all that beer damage from I don't know how long ago it happened, but it's quite rusty. That was the power supply there. And we had to unplug that little ribbon there carefully from the bottom, from what looks like a voltage regulator. That's the earth strap. Again, we're going to have to take these off, so you just got to unscrew. That's the underside of the mixing desk. You can see everything. I've undone the power supply. There it is. Put it aside. Don't forget where its ribbon cable goes. So here's our channels. There's all of these ribbons everywhere. Before you touch anything with your hands, touch the frame. This is an old trick. Touch it to earth yourself. Put these labels on. I use masking tape so they're easy to take off. It's real easy to forget where everything goes, and it's hard to find out information. So here we are. We can see the damage where it came into the mixer. There's a fair bit of beer damage, but I've carefully got it on the desk. So here we are, naked mixer. And we have all of our knobs there, potentiometers, sliders. Now look at this, there's why the slider's quite sticky. There's rust and dried beer. Look, I don't know if all of these are going to fully recover because this is an extreme case. Yours should look like the ones on the right there, just a little bit dusty. That's dried beer, not rust that I'm scraping off there. So what I'm going to use is some contact cleaner and lubricant. It's for switches and potentiometers. You can actually do this with the desk put together, not take it fully apart. If it's just a bit scratchy, put it down in the faders and exercise it up and down. These keep sticking. You can see I'm sort of getting stuck every now and then, having to force it. You're going to maybe have to do this over a period of days, and it'll feel really scratchy at first, but the lubricant sort of comes later after it evaporates. This is the one I'm using, super cheap, you don't have to get fancy. So I'm now putting it into the buttons as well, so you've got to look for a little hole, or maybe where the top of the button goes in, give them a spray, and again, clickety click, kind of keep on pressing them to clean up the contacts. This is especially if, you know, when you turn things on they crackle, or you only get one channel when you're turning them on and off. And I kind of, since I've got it open, I'm going to do the whole desk. These little potentiometers, you're going to have to find a little hole in the side. These ones you can see, there's a hole there that I'm getting access to. And then turn them all around, keep turning them a few times, because that solvent kind of moves with the wiper and cleans it up. To clean inside these faders, I clamp one of these cotton buds so it goes a bit flat, because this contact cleaner won't remove things, it'll kind of just clean it up. And so these have had beer in them, so I want to get into the fader, and this one here you can see it. I spray it with a bit of solvent, and then I get right into that fader and I clean it out, and you'll see all of this grossness. That's what you're removing. If you don't remove it, it's kind of going to stay sticky. So I've reassembled it after doing all of that, put all the jack tops back on. I haven't put all the buttons on yet because I'm just going to have a quick check. Power's on. I haven't done anything crazy. There's no smoke coming out. There we go. We've got the solos turning on and off. A lot of these buttons weren't working, so that's why I'm testing here. You can see they turn on and off nicely. There was one solo button here I think that was a little iffy, but after a few goes it turned good. It's looking good. Now you might find that you've got a couple of channels that are a bit scratchy still on the plugs, because these have had beer in them, and you'll find that, you know, they might turn on and off a bit. So I spray some contact cleaner on that jack, and then I keep plugging it in and out, and that'll clean that up. That's a real common thing as well. There you go. You can do it yourself. Thanks so much to our Patreon supporters for supporting our work. It's your support that allows us to keep going during these difficult times. Go and check out our website, kate.net.au.